Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, regardless of what time this lecture finds you. I hope it finds you well. For this week, the goal will be to sort of build in our journalistic toolkit. So we will be dealing with newswriting basics. That is chapter 3 in our handy-dandy textbook, whether you have that digitally or in a paper copy like I do. So for this week, I want to address some things. I know that we were supposed to do a digital presentation this week, and then next week we were going to start working into feature writing or reporting assignment number 1. However, I'd kind of like to push both of them back at least a week and instead continue working on our nuts and bolts, right, on the core of writing in the newsroom and looking at the briefs. I think you guys have really got a good grasp on this, but I really want to cement that toolkit before we move into bigger writing. So what that means is that we need to not pick up a big task, not pick up big journalistic things, writing, composition, but instead really dive in. This is a pretty solid chapter. I think if I remember right, this starts on page 35 and goes to page 60. It's got a lot of small, cool little infographics. I really like the way this text is written, so I hope that it's accessible to you. If you don't like it, you can always reach out and let me know. I can't change it, but it will tell me for future classes. But what the most important thing here is that we will have 2 assignments due this week. One, I said last week, I kind of definitely want to keep the conversations rolling from chapter 2, or not chapter 2, from module 2, sorry. The news brief discussions. One thing I don't like about discussions that I've seen historically and in the time that I've been teaching here at Great Basin is that it's always felt like discussion posts kind of people post, and even when I was an undergrad and in grad school, anytime there was a discussion post online, there was this weird dynamic where it was like, my goal was to meet the criteria to get the grade and really nothing more. And I think that was because that was what was set as the foundation or boundaries for what discussions do. But I want to take that a step further for our class. I want to open those discussions. So this week you'll notice a couple things. I'm going to be going back and making my own responses to your news brief posts, and I would like you to interact with me on that. I would like to get some feedback. So when I give you feedback, I'd like to continue those conversation loops. I also would like you to respond to the discussions. I'm going to scroll down here. You'll see that the only objective for this week is understanding news writing basics. Very core stuff that we need to get done so that in the subsequent weeks that follow, we will have that tool in our pocket and we will literally be able to go back if we have a question and respond to it through this chapter. So we need to get this chapter covered. But you'll see that the link is the discussions for week 2 here and the new discussion here, which looks like this. Have to be done by Monday, February 13th. We may turn around on these discussions and extend those another week, right? So the goal would be to not that you guys will post something and 2 people will respond and you'll all forget and move on. The goal will be that we just keep recontextualizing, reconnecting to that conversation and developing it along the way. And so I want you to explore and expand your understanding of the nuts and bolts of news writing basics, which is the chapter, right? And you will have to construct 3 questions. And I know this is very traditional, but it works really well for this particular task. I want you to construct 3 questions based on the chapter's content. And there's a lot of content in here. I've given you some examples like leads that succeed, rewriting, and story structures. And you will still need to respond to 2 posts. And like I said, I'm adding this extra variable is that my posts. So even as you're posting for your chapter 3 discussions, my goal will be every day to go back and double check where that is and keep moving those conversations forward. So we're going to try to keep pushing them forward until the 13th so that you feel confident when we move into week 4. And that is it. So I hope that covers everything. If you need anything, you know how to reach me via email, via the coffee shop if need be. Again, if you're going to call my office number and leave a voicemail, realize I probably won't get to it till at least Wednesday. That's usually I usually don't go in early in the week. I try to go in later in the week so that gives you guys time to have contact with the lecture and do some reading. And then when I'm in my office hours, you've had some space, and it isn't like I've just given you the lecture and now I'm already in the office, and then you have 4 or 5 days from now you ask a question, and I'm really not available. So enjoy your week. Let me know if you have questions. Bye-bye.